The funny thing about working with Jude for real is that, Joe's a great dad and he's just raising him as like a dad, and then when we're shooting a movie, Jude doesn't fully get what's going on. Like, I don't think people realize with these movies how these aren't like other movies. Because we're like shooting a scene with Jude, and in the middle of it, I'll be like, as his dad, I'll be like, you want to get some ice cream, buddy? And he'll look at his real dad and be like, I can get ice cream with Jake, Dad? And, Joe doesn't want to mess with that innocence, so he'll be like, you can, after we play make-believe with Jake.
The best, there was a whole long scene, it was like a 10-minute scene at the kitchen table with like Rosemary and Judith Light and Sam. And then at the end, she was like, do you want to go to the playground? And he said, yes, but with my real mom.
That would have made for a great twist in the film.
He laughed and then he started.
So the scene where he cries in this movie was a really weird scene to shoot. Because in the way that Joe does these movies is we have an outline and we know what needs to happen. And that scene, as we blocked it off, was about, Lee and Tim, me and Ro are fighting about taxes. So that's really all we know the scene's about. And then Joe goes, everybody chill out. It's going to be about 40 seconds. Yeah. So we're like, great. Ben had figured out how he wanted to shoot it. It was this beautiful oneer. We're all like, great. So then Joe whispers in my ear, Jude thinks Poopy is the funniest thing in the whole world. So I'm like, okay. And he goes, do me a favor and just keep bringing up Poopy and let's get Jude laughing. And I go, great. So then he whispered in Ro's ear, but I didn't hear, and he said, look, try to make this a serious scene. Jake's character's blowing this off, and you're sick of it. So it's time to grow up a little bit. So the scene starts, and I don't know that that's the backstory for her, so I go to this poor little boy, and I'm like, did you take a poopy, little guy? And he's like dying to tell this story, and then he gets in trouble by Ro, who says no, and then in the middle of it, I think, oh, Rosemary DeWitt, what a great actress. She's making a fundamental mistake because I have to get him talking about Putin. So I bring it up again, and then he starts crying. There's that scene.
Meanwhile, I know none of this. And I'm watching this catastrophe with this little boy who I adore unfold in front of me. And when he starts crying, it was everything I could do not to just pan the camera and be like, somebody help.
We had to CGI. He actually spikes the lens. He looks straight into the camera with terror, and then just right before he looks down, he just spikes it so hard, and then it's just.
Yeah, that was my visual. Just this little boy desperately.
But we got everything we wanted out of that kid, so it was worth it. Yeah. Let's exploit the little ones, guys.
Chris Lumber was like.
Yeah. And we got a little girl. He just had a baby. We're gonna exploit her too.